So a little bit of discussion about dimensioning. Some of this stuff can be quite a challenge. This depends on the way you use components, the way you've generated components, how easy it is to attach dimensions to them. But anyway, I wanted to just come into one of the prints and look at how we're applying those dimensions. So this is that one elevation, and one of the first problems I ran into was to create this dimension across here. And the way I did that was to create some reference elements here. And the problem is that these were done as sweeps, and these sweeps don't have great indications for dimensions. Maybe I'll just undo these here. And it makes all those dimensions disappear. I'll go and grab this little witness line over here. And now I'm going to go back to annotate. I'm going to put in these detail lines. You'll notice how I get a little bit of a highlight there. Let me show you what happens if you don't. I try to come in here and connect and grab a dimension, and it only wants to see some of the horizontal lines. It's not seeing any of the vertical lines. Now, if this was done differently as a BIM component, it might have no problem with it, but we don't always get a choice. So let's kind of help this along a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to put some small detail lines, and you'll notice now that we're getting a midpoint coming off of this element right away. So we really have something we can draw on. So I'm just going to slide a couple of tiny little lines in here, and that gives us reference points to pull our dimension to. And I'll try to be a little bit neater about this. So now we can go ahead and measure from that point to this point, and I'll pull that up nice and high. And we have our 1'4", that's just 16 inches for the center line of our toilet bowl. And then we have this other dimension. It's kind of an offset of an alignment for the position of the grab bar to the center line of the toilet. And come down there and grab that. And that's 1 inch. Now it'd be nice if all of these displayed in inches, because when we work at this detail, it's a lot nicer. I have not figured out how to alter that part of the display. If anyone figures that out, let me know. All right, so we have those critical dimensions there. The other place I met with a little bit of a challenge was I wanted to make sure that the mirror was up 3 foot 4 inches, or what is 40 inches, and then the sink needed to be at the right level. And there's very little indication of where the top of the sink is, so the rim height is already a correctable feature or a settable feature. So I just typed in the desired height, and that's 34 inches, so 2 foot 10. So that gives us that, but now we need to actually be able to dimension to it. So if I was to try a dimension line, we'll see how it works. We can catch something there, and that worked out fine this time. That's good. So now we have this other issue of clearance on both sides of the mirror, but we can display that. We don't need to necessarily display that in elevation, but we could, I guess we could make a bit of an attempt at it. So what I'm referencing is this, the Bradley document, which shows this elevation with 30 inches of width, 15 inches on either side of clearance. So let's go ahead and just try how we would do that. So let's make some detail lines here. And we're just going to make standard lines. Oops. Detail line. And we're going to come over right to the center here if we can find it. We'll go up. And we'll just, we want to make this a hidden line, or a dashed line. And we'll pull that all the way down to the floor. And then we're going to offset it. We're going to make a duplicate offset, 15 inches. Oops. That's 1'3". Oops. And then we're going to do the same thing the other way. So we'll go over 30 inches. So there's our there's our clearances, and well, I must have made a mistake there because yeah, 1'3". There we are to the sides of our sink, and we go ahead and use those for dimensions. So we'll go to annotate. We'll add a little note to that later on. And I've hidden some things in view. So if I show you what they are, I've gotten rid of the level lines. And I've actually widened out the crop a little bit so that we can see the inside of the walls. I'd prefer we didn't have the detailed walls, but that's fine. It just, it really shouldn't render that way in a typical elevation. That should be solid. All right, so I'm comparing right now my drawing to this drawing, and our only other issue is we still have this toilet bowl that's sitting too low. So we're going to want to make, at some point, it's saying the right height, but it's not indicating it. So we're going to have to figure out how to correct that. And we do need to start generating some kind of call out. So let's look at doing a call out, a simple call out. These aren't BIM components. So I'll just come in here. Let's say we want to label this grab rail. And the type's really huge right now, but we'll call it GB-3, and we want to make sure that this is set for a small type. That still looks kind of huge. There we go. Let's just pull this one in neater. And you can go ahead and then start doing all the callouts that way for all of the components that are in the assemblies of the bathrooms. So I'll end the clip now, and then I'll pick up again with having some more detail added in and discussing any other issues I had with some of the dimensionings of these elements. But remember, once again, to use as a guide going forward with all your dimensioning is to use the this Bradley guide document. I'll expand it out here. That has the elevations to it and the floor plans, and I would like to see everything dimensioned similarly to the way this is. And maybe we'll actually use their toilet here. We can go in and grab that and paste it in because it's a nice looking toilet. So we'll pick up after we've gone through a few more steps.